What is going on, fellow Wastelanders? Shock Radio here. We have a special sneak peek episode for you guys. We're taking a look at the upcoming update in April, including a few of the balance changes that they're doing to some of the weapons. We're going to do a quick test in this video and just kind of browse around the update. I do plan on live streaming on Wednesday. This video should go out about an hour or so after recording. It's going to be a very rough video, so bear with me as we go through all the balance changes that they're doing and just testing things out briefly and talking about the new brawls that they're bringing in the Wasteland. So let's first start off with the brawls that we are going to have. The first one is going to be one of my favorites that they've ever released, and that is Judgment Knight. Now what you do, and it's for plastic, which is going to be so good, guys. Plastic as a reward is awesome. So you choose an armored car with a unique super weapon, collect bonuses on the map, and deal maximum damage to enemies. Now you might notice it's got the clown mascot. You know, it's called Mr. Twister. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Twister events here. So this is definitely a spin-off of our favorite game, Twisted Metal. So it's definitely a favorite one for sure. They emulate or simulate a lot of the old school Twisted Metal cars, as well as a few other vehicles in other games that I'm not quite familiar with, but I believe there were other nods to other games featuring their vehicles in that game mode as well last year. So anyway, it's a really fun game mode that CROSSOUT introduced in the Wasteland maybe a year or two ago. Really one of my favorites. Anyway, moving on. Enemy in Reflection. So this one, you choose one of the 5 roles, earn points for your team, and climb the leagues. Only the top 500 players will be able to get in the last league, whose reward will depend on their place in the league. Victories and defeats affect the points gained and lost respectively, and their amount depends on enemy rating. So there's a leaderboard attached with Enemy in Reflection. If you guys have been around in the Wasteland for a while, you will know, you'll be familiar with this. This is basically the spring, the winter mayhem, the night mayhem when they had that. We are going to have a leaderboard. Here are the rewards for this leaderboard. For the top guys there, the top 3, you're going to get 2 legendary items of your choice there listed. They are non-tradable. You can't salvage them. They don't take up storage space, so you can use these for fusing. It doesn't say that you can't craft with them, but if they say not tradable, then I'm pretty sure you can't craft with them. So you guys could use these for fusing things, I believe, which is cool. Moving on. Download, they give you 1 legendary, 2 piples, and they probably move on to like 1 pipel as they move down here. But anyway, these are the leaderboards for the Enemy in Reflection, and they also have a crazy dash brawl. So you install a special electromagnetic booster on your armored car and enter the battle. So you guys are going to get temporary parts. I installed one on both sides of this car just to show you guys real quick. It's going to be a device that makes you guys strafe. It's going to be, I believe, L3, R3 on controller, but for keyboard here today, it's going to be E and Q. You're going to be strafing in this new brawl. So pretty cool. This was introduced in the Mr. Twister event a couple years ago. It probably is going to be an ability in Mr. Twister event. It made the event really fun, just being able to do all kinds of crazy maneuvers using this strafe ability with wheels. So that is something we have to look forward to. That are the main brawls they are introducing, but we have to look at the newest feature in CROSSOUT, and that is custom brawls, guys. So as we see here, a few people have already been in the promo servers here making some brawls that we can try out. So you make your own brawl with this. So I can go to my brawls here and kind of demonstrate. You have 4 empty slots for brawls. You pick the type of mode you'd like. Storm Warning, one of my favorites. Obviously Free For All, Slaughter, pretty dope. You guys can have race nights in here just like normal, but you can make your own rules a bit further, create your own maps, all that good stuff. Well, not create your own maps, but you know, put your own maps into the mix. I guess the biggest thing is you have blueprints for mandatory parts. I don't know if that's normal in the custom game modes we have now. It might be. This looks a little bit more in depth. Then you can upload the blueprint for players to try out. So once you save your brawl, we'll just, you know, save whatever. Your brawl is saved, and then you can to the exhibition. You can upload it to the exhibition there. So you can create a brawl that you'd like. I don't think you can put in the special game modes. Like, it would be cool if you could add the special battles into these the brawls, but I don't think you can do that, unfortunately. It just puts you into a custom there. But you can do all the standard brawls and the standard mission types there. You can do raids over here. I don't know if you can do raids in the current selection of the custom matches, but in this one you can do raids. You cannot set them in your exhibition. So again, it's just the normal assault, domination, slaughter, storm warning, all these listed here that you can save and upload to exhibition. They did mention that they are going to choose the best blueprints for brawls and add them into the rotation in the future. So you can essentially design your own brawl to be added into the game. So pretty awesome. And now again, I think I may have mentioned this in the beginning of the stream or the beginning of this recording, but I will be trying to stream on Wednesday so you guys can see all this stuff more intricately, test things. Perhaps we can run some battles, all that good stuff. This is just, you know, a peek at everything, a quick peek. But we're gonna move on to the balance changes. I picked out a few weapons here that we're just gonna drive around and we're gonna read off what the balance changes are and see if we can notice any DPS changes or things like that. So let me pull up the balance changes here on my left screen. We're gonna skip the cap can because I can't really test that without trying. We'll perhaps try that tomorrow during stream. We can start with the Jolten. Where's my Jolten build? Where's the Jolten? Jolten. There it is. That is getting a damage from explosion increase by 50%. The puddle applies freezing effect 33% faster. The effect of that is leaves a puddle refrigerant at the site where the shell explodes, which freezes the parts of all the armored vehicles that get into it, as well as reduces the power and speed of their cabins by 33%. So that 33% reduction will be applied faster, which will actually be pretty insane. But let's see if we can notice anything from the explosion radius. Those of you that use this weapon a lot might notice this. It's going to be hard for me to tell, I'm not going to lie, without looking at like a snapshot of kind of before and after, but it definitely looks like it's doing some damage. Now I wonder how it would affect the speed of armored vehicles. Definitely something we're going to need to check out on stream for sure, or as soon as the weapon releases for console. What is next that we have to check out? I'm going to skip all the Tormentor stuff and the melee stuff. We're all really excited for melee nerfs and all that good stuff, so we don't need to even worry about that. But we are going to check out the impulses here. I know a lot of people are worried about the impulses. The size of the projectile is being decreased. The perk now requires 8 hits on the enemy instead of 5. The damage bonus of the next projectile is 40% instead of 50%, and the cooling rate reduced by 40%. So I have not really been using the impulse, but I've been seeing them everywhere. We're gonna drive around, shoot these guys a little bit, and show you what it do. Those aren't impulses. Okay, hold on. Cut. Alright, so this is the correct impulse build we were going to try. We're just going to do some run and gun in here. Let me look at the cooling stuffs. So we have no cooling stuff. This is going to be base stats for the impulse for you guys to analyze. That's not the impulse. You guys take it for what you will. Perhaps on stream we're going to be adding coolers and things. They still definitely do a lot of damage. I mean, you're talking 800, it looks like, or so, almost 1,000 on a full volley, assuming you're not going to be hitting anything explosive. You might be tap firing these a little bit more, perhaps there's some tap firing going on in the future of these. Yep, you may want to tap fire. The cooling rate is kind of vicious on them, so you definitely want to pick your moments right for sure when you use them. But again, this doesn't have any coolers to speak of, so it might not be too terrible, guys. These impulses might not be too bad, and they're still really cheap anyway for a purple. I think these will be alright. Next up, we're trying out the narwhal here. Now, the narwhal is getting the projectile's explosion, freezes parts by 35% instead of 20% previously. This is supposed to go hand in hand with its perk. The perk The weapons deal increased damage when hitting frozen parts, maximum bonus 30 or 100%. So it essentially does 100% more damage to frozen parts. I would assume that maximum frozenness, maximum frostiness is around 35%. So these essentially are going to do a lot more damage on that second hit. So let's check it out a little bit and see what it do. That's straight cabin. That was pretty big. Again, I'm kind of going to go for a more so cabin here so you guys can see the straight damage of these things. Now this account was just freshly kind of set up, unfortunately, so there's like nothing in the test drive or anything. I mean, I'm definitely feeling more damage, but cryo weapons just really need to be paired together. That's what it lacks when I'm running cryo weapons. It's just a full team of ice. But I'm definitely seeing some more damage to these icy parts. It's getting nice and icy, nice and frosty real quick. Look how nice and bright blue that is. So that's gonna be pretty interesting to test out in actual 8v8s or 6v6 battles. Now moving on to the next build, we're just trying out 3 fortunes here. There's no reload modules or anything here. The fortunes are getting a fire rate reduction of 20%. So we're just going to be testing out the fire rates of the fortunes here for those of you guys that use fortunes at home. You know, I definitely wanted to click real fast there, but again, this doesn't have a flywheel. It's not on a Hadron cabin. There's no reload perks or anything really with this, so take it for what it is here at the weapon's base value. I think fortunes, judging by this, are probably going to be just fine, guys. Like, these things are still going to do a lot of damage and definitely add a layer of suppressive fire to the field. I mean, levies, I can see still being terrified of fortune. If I was a levy driver and I seen fortunes, I would definitely still be absolutely terrified. Now moving on to the main course of the evening, that is the avalanche, everybody. Probably what I'm most interested to see. I can't say I'm most excited to see this because I never really ran avalanche a lot. I'm not looking forward to getting absolutely demolished by these. But they're getting massive buffs. The blast damage of the avalanche increased by 30% in the upcoming update. Penetration ability increased from 40 to 70%. We got projectile flight speed increased by 24%. Durability increased from 15 to 2400 points. Your mass is going up by quite a bit, so you're definitely gonna have to rework any avalanche builds you might have. And the projectile impulse upon hit and recoil is increased. So with this build, it's again pretty bare bones build. We do have a reload module on this. I don't believe we're getting any cabin perks from the Yokozuna, so no blast radius or nothing. We're just gonna check out the raw damage and fire a couple shots at a few of these vehicles to show you guys what the avalanche might be like this coming update. Absolutely packs a punch. That was almost 1,000 damage combined right there. Pretty insane. This will definitely one-shot this. Absolutely just done. I mean, I didn't have to hit the target like that. I could have went for cab. Let's go for cab. Juicy. Wait, did it not kill that? Was I mistaken? Was the explosion just so massive it just looked like it absolutely pummeled it? This thing still definitely suffers from a long reload time, but you're going to be doing a ton of damage with this. Now this build isn't really designed to showcase the melee, or the soon-to-be melee capabilities that are going to be unleashed with this build, but you definitely feel the power of the updated avalanche. Now I believe that's it for you guys in this video. Just quick glance at what is coming up in the update. Probably next week or a couple days. I'm not really sure. They haven't given us any release dates, but I wanted to put it out there for you guys. Like, subscribe. If you really want to help the channel, become a member on YouTube, or drop a super thanks in the comments below. Discord in the description, and any affiliate links that may help out the channel as well. Really appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's stream.